All right, welcome to the Krug Show, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day. It's August. Welcome to August. And welcome to the Krug Show. And, of course, we're brought to you by Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in both spots from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. And this live stream is brought to you by Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles, 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California. Call Anthony Catania at 831-521-5264. Well, the 49ers are just finished the second block of training camp, and we thought we would go through some of the camp, some of the risers, some of the guys who are really impressive in training camp, at least through the first couple weeks, through the second block. And then we'll play some of the cuts as well. We got some cuts. Raphael 562 Niners says, "What's up, Larry? What's up, everyone? What's up, Raphael?" He also says, like and subscribe, everyone. Please do. If you hit like, that just helps the algorithm. More people will find the stream. If you hit subscribe and click that notification bell every single time we go live, you'll get an alert that we're going live. We're going live, and you don't have to miss any of it. Sean Turner says, red shirt, red sign, red wall, red Larry forehead. Thank you, Sean. Yes, it's been a rough one so far in camp. There we go. SF 49ers quest for 624 says, Larry, pig in a pickle, baby. That's right. Pig in a pickle. Pig in a pickle. The title sponsor of the Krug Show. And always Drip 805 drops this one. He says, Larry, you watching Texans Bears today, the Football Hall of Fame preseason game? I am. I'll be watching that. And I think all of you guys ought to watch that as well. And let me give you guys a little something before we get into this video. Let me give you a little something to watch for in the Hall of Fame game tonight. The 49ers have very few weaknesses on their roster. I would say one of them, especially with Drake Jackson being hurt, is defensive end depth, right? You got Bosa, you got Leonard Floyd, you got Yatir Gross-Matos. And after that, it was supposed to be Drake Jackson and Robert Beal, but Robert Beal's largely unproven. Drake Jackson's got a knee that is it seems like it's a chronic thing. And hopefully it doesn't end his career. So they need defensive end depth for sure. And if you look at the Bears tonight, the Bears have Montez Sweat at defensive end and DeMarcus Walker. That's their starting combo. They also drafted Austin Booker out of Kansas in the 5th round. Really like him. J-Marie Croma is a guy they picked up after the draft. They like him. You have Jacob Martin. You also have Daniel Hardy, Khalid Kareem. They've got a number of different guys. One of the guys that is going to be on the bubble for the Bears, who the Niners, I would absolutely be looking for this guy at the cutdown, is Dominick Robinson. Their 5th round pick in 2022. He's 6'5", about 255. He's the former Miami of Ohio Red Hawk quarterback who moved to defensive end. Or he was a quarterback who moved to wide receiver, and then a wide receiver who moved to defensive end. And he's a little raw. He's about 6'5", 260, but he's athletic, man. He's only 26. And if the 49ers at the cutdown need an extra defensive end, Dominick Robinson from Chicago might be the guy. So you can catch him tonight in the Hall of Fame game and take you can scout. You can do a little scouting tonight on Dominick Robinson. I think there's a very good chance he gets cut at the cutdown, and I could see the Niners picking him up. He would be a very, very nice pickup for your 49ers. Moonman says, Larry, what do you think of Brandon Staley? I like Brandon Staley. I like the fact that Diamador Lenore says he's the Kyle Shanahan of the defense and called him a genius. That was great to see. All right, let's go through this though, because I want to talk about some of the guys who have really risen in the first couple of weeks. And we're going to start with JP Mason. JP Mason is looked really, really good. Here's what Shanahan had to say about Mason. Mason is starting to take reps away from Elijah Mitchell. And I think most of us Niner fans are like, it's about freaking time. Here's Shanahan earlier in the week on Mason.
Last 2 years, Elijah Mitchell was a pretty clear-cut number 2 tailback. Has that started to blur at all with Jordan Mason playing like he has?
I mean, I'd say nothing against Elijah. There's been no fall off in Elijah at all, but JP runs at a very high level. I mean, I see both of those guys that if Christian's not in there and not going, I mean, we always expect, no matter who we've had in the past, that number 2, number 3, sometimes our 4th guy comes in, and if their number's called, we expect them to run like a starting back. And just how many reps do they get at it? How long do they last? And things like that. And JP wasn't there right away, but he got there pretty quick. And he did a hell of a job for us last year. And we'll see how camp plays out. But I love both of those guys and got some depth behind them too.
Yeah, Mason is a beast, and he is starting to assert himself. And you know what? This guy's got to get on the field. It's just simple as that. I don't care if they got CMC. I don't care if you have Walter Payton, Eric Dickerson, and Earl Campbell. You got to get this kid on the field at some point for a few reps. It's as simple as that. And, you know, we've been patient. Patience is run thin. It's time to get Mason on the field. He's one of the better players on the team. He needs to get out there. One of the guys who's going to be opening holes at right guard is Dominick Puny. I think there's a very good chance that Puny starts at right guard. Let's hear Chris Forster and what he's saying about the rookie out of Kansas.
He's a strong, big body. He just has a lot of, he's no bigger than most of them, but he's a very, he'll set the pocket real well. He plays with great anchor. He's extremely intelligent. He's really, really a good player, man. He's a special guy, and he's just not done this position for very long. And with our system, it's a little bit of a change for him, so there's going to be a learning curve. But he's got some real stuff to work with. A lot of our guards in our system, they tend to be quicker. That's where Banks is a great advantage. He is, those bigger guys inside do help.
Yeah, there you go. So, you know, you're hearing Forster describe Puny as very smart. He's playing with the ones. I think there's a chance that Dominick Puny's a plug-and-play guy. 3rd round pick. I think he could be the week 1 starter against the Jets at right guard. I think he can beat out Feliciano. I think if you really ask Forster and Shanahan and Lynch how they feel about their roster, I think they would like to start Puny and bring Feliciano off the bench, not the opposite. So we'll see. We'll see about that one. But it's great to hear Forster say, man, extremely intelligent. He's a special, special guy. All right, now let's hear from Kyle Juszczyk. I asked him about what does he think of the new guys in the room. There's Patrick Taylor, there's Garendo, and I really wanted to get his thoughts on Cody Schrader because I love Cody Schrader, the rookie from Missouri. I think one of the best undrafted free agent signings in the entire NFL was Cody Schrader by the Niners. He was a great player. And here's what Juice had to say about the rookie from Mizzou.
Been impressed. Been really impressed with those guys. I think we have a really special running back room. Quite honestly, I think this is the best running back room I've ever been in. From top to bottom, I think we got some really good players, and been particularly impressed with Cody Schrader. He's works his absolute tail off. He's very intelligent. He goes out there and just plays a good, consistent, clean game. And we've really enjoyed having him, but all those guys have been impressive. They're all very smart, do things the right way, and I love our room. Been impressed. Been really
there you
impressed.
go. A little bit of Juszczyk talking about, singling out Cody Schrader. And Schrader's got instincts and speed and tackle breaking ability. And I love the one, Pro Football Annual that said, if you let Cody Schrader into your building, you will never get him out of your building. In other words, this guy works so hard that good luck cutting him. Good luck separating from him. And a couple guys on the defensive side have to be shouted out as well. Malik Mustafa and Renardo Green. Mustafa's just awesome. I mean, Malik Mustafa in 2 weeks already looks like one of the best 49er players, regardless of position. He's cocky on the field. He's got a swagger. He will hit you. He's got better coverage ability than you think. Here's Niners defensive coordinator Nick Sorensen talking about the rookie out of Wake Forest, Malik Mustafa. I don't know, the Niners give out the gold helmet designation to their favorite players. I don't know if he got one because they don't tell us anymore who got one, but I would almost I'd bet $1 to a dime that he absolutely was a gold helmet designation by the Niners. That's how much they seem to really like Malik Mustafa. Here's Sorensen on Mustafa.
How have you seen Mustafa carry over what he did in the offseason to the first couple of days here?
He's really, you could tell he's been studying, been working on it. It's not really like hesitant at all in the communications and his being comfortable just in what he's doing back there, how he's communicating. You didn't see him do as many things in the post. He had a nice pick out of the post, yesterday. He's just got good natural football instincts, but what we knew about him is that he cared. He did a lot of things. And I think the next thing that's going to show up for him is a good tackler. He's really physical. That's the stuff you haven't seen so far because, the stuff in the offseason, it was seeing this. Is he, he's a big dude. Like he's swole. He's like strong, but he's got that mobility. He's got some flexibility and he moves really well too. So to see that he's got the movement skill to go along, you could see that he cares. He's put the time into it just because how he's communicating out there and moving around.
You don't hear too many people drop swole, but he's swole. But Mustafa is swole. And he's absolutely right. It's like, it's so funny to watch all these practices and then hear Sorensen describe it because that's exactly what Mustafa is. He's big and strong and physical, can hit, but he also has ability to cover and movement ability and feet and flexibility and speed. The Niners right now are in a great spot in the secondary. Let's hear one more cut, and then I'll give a couple thoughts here. This is from Jer Brown. Let's hear from Jer Brown. Jer Brown's one of my favorite Niners. Another great freaking player. Jer Brown is a great player.
Amen.
And here's Jair on KMBR with Greg Papa and John Lund talking a little bit about the young DBs, the rookie DBs. The Niners lost some alphas when they lost Jimmy Ward and Emmanuel Mosley. And in my opinion, I said it on draft day, they replaced those alpha personalities by drafting Malik Mustafa and Renardo Green. Listen to Jair talk up the rooks.
Renardo Green come in, and his man coverage is outstanding. His ability to pick up concepts. Mustafa the same way. His ability to pick up concepts, ability to pick up the play. These guys learned the plays, as soon as they came from rookie minicamp, they had this thing like they going. So the sky's the limit for the secondary, man. It is all about how much work we put in, the little details we follow, and executing down the stretch. Renardo Green.
That's a good call. And Always Drips asking about Jaylen Mahoney from Vandy. Always Drip 805 says, what about the other rookie safety, Mahoney, Larry? He actually looks really, really good. Pretty fluid. I'm eager to see what Jaylen Mahoney looks like in the preseason. I know nobody's talked about him at all, but he's pretty athletic and he hits and he's got the guy has good movement ability. So I'm eager to see what he looks like. And we know he's a smart kid. I mean, Vandy, you got to be a smart student to be a student at Vanderbilt. But to me, if you said to me, what's the thing that stands out the most about the Niners? In the first two blocks, I would say they don't look as dynamic without Ayuk. Just full disclosure. They just don't look as dynamic. That's the word I would use. They're not as electric. They're not as explosive. They're not as dynamic offensively without Ayuk. His presence is just, he where he's at. I mean, he's a noticeable presence on the field. That's number one. Number two, though, and a close second, the 49ers are freaking stacked in the secondary with all kinds of good young talent. This is a really good young secondary. We've been talking about the secondary being a weakness for so many years now that they've added a piece here and they added a piece there. And, 2021, they added Demo Lenore. 2022, here comes Samuel Womack. 2024, it's Renardo Green and Malik Mustafa. They signed Mooney Ward. 2023, here comes Jer Brown. 2023, Darrell Luter. They're stacked with really good young talent. So at safety, you've got Talanoa Hufanga. Now, granted, he's on the PUP list right now, but he'll eventually get healthy. And you got Jer Brown. I mean, Fonga's 25. He's a babe in the woods. Jer Brown's even younger. He's 24. Talking about two really, really, really good young safeties that are, 24, 25. Malik Mustafa's 22. 22-year-old fantastic safety. Jaylen Mahoney, the rookie from Vanderbilt, 23. Young player, has a chance to make the roster. And then you look in the corner. You think of Mooney as the vet. He's the old head. He's 28. He's absolutely in the super prime. They just signed Isaac Yadam away from the Saints. He's 28. Still very much in the prime of his career. Demo Lenore is a great player. This might be his final year with the Niners because he's so great. He's playing at such a high level that they might not be able to afford him at the end of the year. He's 24. He's 24 years old. So that really stands out. They just have a lot. I mean, Ambry Thomas is young. Darrell Luter, he's a blue chipper. He's 6'2" or 6 feet, 190, but he's got 34-inch arms. Plays like a guy who's like 6'2". He's 24. He's like, in a lot of ways, he is your prototype of what you're looking for, size, speed wise. So just look at the Niners right now and that secondary. 3 really good young safeties and 6 really good starting caliber corners. So we're talking about almost 10 DBs that are all between the ages of like 22 and 28, who are all playing at a really high level. And this secondary could absolutely rule the day. I love what I've seen out of Renardo Green and Malik Mustafa and these other guys as well. So, I mean, and there's probably a few more that I didn't list there, but if you said, who are the risers in Niner camp? Renardo Green, no doubt. Malik Mustafa, no doubt. Cody Schrader, no doubt. Dominick Puny, probably plug and play at right guard, probably going to start his entire career. JP Mason looks amazing. Not even talking about guys like Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy obviously is playing at a really high level, and there's more guys than that as far as young guys who are looking good. But man, just 4 or 5 of those guys right out of the chute, really looking outstanding. So if you're Kyle Shanahan, if you're John Lynch, you're 2 weeks into camp, you got to be thrilled, absolutely thrilled with what you've seen thus far from your team, because they really do. There's a lot of really good young football players. And when you look at that secondary, man, if you just see incremental improvement across the board, that might be one of the best young secondaries in football. So the 49ers, especially on that back end of their defense, they could be significantly improved. James Wilson says, Legion of Boom. Yeah, Malik Mustafa, he says, reminds me of Cam Chancellor. He's got that build. Chancellor was a thumper who was even bigger. I mean, Chancellor literally was 235. This guy's not that big, but this guy's a way better cover man than Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor couldn't cover like Malik Mustafa. But it was a lot of the same kind of thing. I mean, hits, big hitter, versatile, can do a lot of things. I'm not even convinced that, I look at Mustafa and you look at that muscle structure and you're like, wow, man, this guy could play in the box. This guy could be like an extra linebacker. And so he's a natural for that. But then you saw that pick the other day. He had an interception in practice on a Dobbs ball where I believe it was Dobbs who threw the pass. And I think it was, who was it? It was Danny Gray. It was Danny Gray down the right sideline on a ball from Dobbs with Renardo Green on the coverage. And Malik Mustafa's playing deep middle, and he comes over. Now, sometimes the safety gets there a little early. Sometimes the safety gets there a little late. Sometimes the safety delivers a big hit. Sometimes the safety goes and plays the man. Sometimes the safety plays the ball. I mean, you just never quite know. Mustafa goes flying over there. He rose up. It looked like 10 feet in the air. I mean, he was so high in the air. It was comical. And he rips it with his left arm, one-handed rip interception. Just ripped it. Absolutely impressive. Haven't seen a play that good in a while. That was impressive. So those are some of the risers in Niner camp, and there's even more than the guys we named. But I mean, to me, if you said the most exciting thing about the Niners right now, I mean, obviously Purdy looks like an MVP, and they got a ton of great weapons, and their offensive line looks improved. We all know they got a great linebacking core, but if you said the thing that really stands out in this camp, it's that all of a sudden they've got a completely stacked, loaded secondary with big-time players everywhere you look. Mooney, Ward, and Lenore, Yadam, that's your top three corners. Jer Brown, Afanga, Mustafa, Renardo, Womack, Ambry, Luter. I mean, Rock Ya-Sin has looked good in this camp. I mean, they're stacked. Most teams keep 5 corners. They've got 8. Good luck cutting 3 corners. They got 8 corners and 3 really, really good young safeties. And this is a tremendous safety group too, because think about it. Afanga's a Pro Bowler, all pro type. Jer Brown's got the potential to be the same. Mustafa is a big time player. I mean, you can just tell. Pro Bowl, all pro. I don't know what you want to call it. And then George Odom is an all pro special teamer. And you're probably going with 4 safeties, and those are probably your 4. Afanga, Brown, Mustafa, and Odom. So they're looking really good at safety, and then they're stacked and loaded on the corner. So the young talent in this secondary, very, very impressive in this camp. And we're starting to see them kind of come of age all at the exact same time, which is amazing. All right, couple chats. If you have a question or two you want to throw in there before we jet. JP Hella Hard 2800 says BA 4 years, 191 million, 90 million guaranteed. Early next week, no later than Wednesday. Is that a source? I don't know. Hopefully that gets done. That's all I'll say about that. Hopefully it gets done. SF 49ers quest for 624. Larry, do you think Mustafa starts week 1? I do, because I'm pretty convinced, SF, that Talanoa won't be ready. So I do think Mustafa starts week 1. Absolutely. Always Drip 805 had a good one from earlier. He said, not hearing Colton McKivitz's name in training camp is good news, right, Larry? I forget who it was, but somebody with the Niners, maybe it was, could have been Forster, could have been Shanahan. It could have been, I forget who it was, but somebody predicted in the last 48 hours that Colton McKivitz was going to have a huge year. And he's looked good in camp. I mean, he's got, I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. He's one of my favorite guys to talk to. He hasn't ripped me for wearing my Texas hat yet. I guess I haven't been wearing it too much. But if I wear it a little bit this week to cover so I'm not so sunburned on the forehead, I'll get the Colton McKivitz nice Texas hat, Krug. He rips me for wearing the Texas hat. But if Colton could have a good year, the Niners, that would be, if you're in the camp that says this is the Niners year, they're going to the bowl, they're going to win it all, you got to have your starting right tackle have a representative year. And from people that I'm hearing from, they say Colton has worked really, really hard and is primed for a great year, which that I love to hear. All right, that's going to do it for us. Quick in and out today. I've got a meeting that is coming up here. Oh, actually, you know what? Join me in 10 minutes. I'm saying a meeting. 10 minutes from now at 4:00, join me on 95.7 The Game. I'll be on there with Willard and Dibbs, so check that out. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles for sponsoring this video. Call Anthony Catania at 831-521-5264. And thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krug Show. Steve-O said in and out sponsor. Yeah, we got the sponsor there. Thanks to everyone. We're going to have a couple new sponsors coming up here in the month of August. One of them is Mancini's Sleep World. So thanks to Mancini's for jumping aboard the Krug Show. We're really excited that they're part of the Krug Show. James Wilson says, love the Krug Show. Chris Hansen says, Larry, do the bulky. It's funny you should have me do the bulky because sometimes I'm a football guy, and that's what I loved about Trent. He was a football guy. except when he wrote AJ Jenkins' name in an envelope, and which he totally stole from Sonny Weaver, by the way. Vontae Mack, no matter what, and then all of a sudden it's AJ Jenkins' name in an envelope. That story of writing a guy's name in an envelope is way, way cooler when the guy can play. You know what I mean? If the guy can't play a lick and he can't play dead, it doesn't matter that you wrote his name down in an envelope. I wrote this guy's name down in an envelope, and his name is Israel Ifiani. I wrote the name Chike O'Keefer down in an envelope. I pulled out my envelope, and it said Reggie McGrew, no matter what. I mean, you're not cool. You're only cool if the guy's great. Uh-oh. Did the camera went out of me? Anyway, that's going to do it for the Krug Show. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see if we can turn this back on. We're getting it back on. Like that. He is returned. But anyway, thank you to everybody. Kev says the camera may be overheating. It's that kind of a day. Anyway, thanks to everybody for supporting the Krug Show. Like and subscribe. Thanks for supporting us. We really do appreciate it. Have a great day. Dieter is going to join me later on tonight for a stream right around 8 or 9 o'clock. So look for that later on tonight. And until then, we're out.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful.